Sorry, let's start. 3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 558. This is the episode no one will hear because Toy Fair is Saturday. No, I mean, people will hear it. It's just that, the download curve will go like, then Saturday will skyrocket. So, for those of you dedicated enough to be here, we love you. And likewise, for all the people in the chat, tfradio.net/live, we love you so much.
That's what we were talking about.
Yes, well,
the ones dedicated enough to be here.
Right now. But the people who download and listen, they're here.
The ones dedicated enough to be here on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, if you are here and your wife or girlfriend is okay with it,
or husband.
That's awesome.
We may have people of all stripes, or maybe ladies listening, though the likelihood's low. But we have people, don't want to limit it to just the girlfriends. Diecast, now it's awkward.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Diecast is here.
That's Diecast, our public face at all these official functions.
Yeah. Yes, and it's Chris.
I'm XV.
Yes, Matt is just holding his head in shame.
Yeah.
Then disgust.
We're all ashamed and disgusted, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Mild terror at the fact that Diecast represents us in public.
I know, right? Nah, he does a great job. Rob, how's it going?
Not too bad.
And John, at that John D everywhere. That's how I'm introducing John at all times now.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So, if you notice, Don's not here. I have no idea where Don is on Valentine's Day. Wink, wink. So,
Goodbye, downloads.
Yeah.
Don this week.
Yeah, I'm not putting that in the description.
We tried to arrange for Matthew to be on his place, but you know what it's like trying to work with cats.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like herding cats.
That's exactly what this is. So, hey,
I figured maybe Massey took out some extra anger on Don today, and he's currently recovering.
Don's currently in intensive care.
When Don gets Massey out of boarding, Don is dead. Don may not be here for Toy Fair Saturday. Actually, speaking of, our live stream is this coming Saturday. It starts at 12 Eastern Time, 12 noon on Saturday, tfradio.net/live. Also, we have a live stream on Sunday at tfradio.net/live at 1 p.m. Saturday, it's all about Transformers and Hasbro. Diecast will be there in New York City at the Hasbro Transformers, G.I. Joe, but Star Wars, Marvel, all of that press event. And then Sunday, those of us here will just be talking about whatever's new from Toy Fair.
Yeah, Hasbro
and
big important brands
Saturday.
like Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's the real success for them this year.
Yeah,
I must say that G.I. Joe is my favorite to report on because it's the easiest.
Yes. Well, you sent me an email. There's actually going to be some
just a
G.I. Joe
room
stuff.
full of sad people.
Yeah, I don't know if that will actually be at
It's licensed.
the Saturday convention. Yeah, so it's going to be.
There's some
It's going to
licensed
be at Toy Fair proper.
Yeah, licensed SD G.I. Joe stuff. So that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll get those. Maybe some G.I. Joe Weebles or something. Yeah, probably not. But make sure you follow us at TF Radio on Twitter. Diecast will be tweeting. Also Instagram. So at TF Podcast on Instagram. Diecast, if we need to make sure that you're still hooked up on that.
Yeah, I have to check that.
Because it is completely foreign to me that Instagram is so much bigger than Twitter, but it is, and I just don't think about it.
I'm the
It's hard
same
for me
way.
to comprehend how that even works since it's so focused on the media sharing aspect rather than the just plain user interaction side.
Well, I guess because
But maybe that's why it's better because there's less direct user interaction.
Exactly. And gosh, here in a couple of months, I will hit my 10-year Twitter anniversary.
Yeah, I don't get
Wow.
that until next year.
Yeah, man.
I think me too.
Yeah, you know how
Ashton
sad
Kutcher
my
would be
10-year
proud.
Twitter anniversary is going to be? I signed up for Twitter in 2009 to be able to keep in contact with Hey Mickey so we could go watch Revenge of the Fallen together.
Hey, well, it was a good movie to start out your Twitter on.
I think my first follower on Twitter was TFG1 Mike. And then I said something like a couple months later to offend him, and he unfollowed me. Then he followed me again like a year later. I have no idea how Mike and I found each other on Twitter because we didn't know each other before. So I don't understand how Twitter worked when nobody was on it. It was a weird thing.
Well, that's how he found you. He probably just searched for Transformers, and you're the one person that came up.
Or I think there were a couple of people, but probably right. Yeah. So, but my Twitterversary is then. But follow us on Twitter at TF Radio and follow along because all the news will be happening Saturday, and it'll be a blast. We'll be streaming live our 9th annual live stream. 9th annual. So I've tried to mix up who's going to be here this year. The fun part about Toy Fair is that we get to hear different voices, people from different shows, different walks of life. So a couple different folks on this year. So it'll be pretty cool. I'm really excited. And most of us will be there. Even Matt.
Especially Matt. Matt looks forward to this all year.
It's Matt's, yeah. Yeah, Matt's so
It's
excited.
his reason for living.
It's my reason for living. God, my butt's going to be so sore. Oh,
Planning to be butthurt, are you?
yeah, planning to be butthurt.
I just pray I come home from New York in one piece every time.
Is it that bad?
No, it's not bad. It's a very nice section of New York.
Who do you hang out with when you're there? Anthony, of course. Our buddy Kevin Lucas tweeted at you. Will you see him there?
Yeah, Anthony and Kevin. I'm super excited to see both of them.
Both awesome
because I
dudes.
only see them at these events.
Anybody else? Who covers for the wiki? Is it Monzo? You don't know Monzo.
Yeah, Monzo's there sometimes.
You know Monzo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I missed. Remember when we had that Stump Monzo segment?
Yeah, that lasted for all of like 4 weeks.
I think it lasted a few months. But like in the same week, not Rockman, Daniel, Protoman, and McFeely stumped him. Then we just stopped doing it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's history.
Once they show weakness, there's really no future for them.
No future. So, speaking of future, did anybody get anything? That's the worst segue ever.
Yes, I did get some things.
And yes, it is the worst segue ever.
Yes. So I was lucky enough to, at Walmart, actually, out in the wild at retail, find the new Legends class. So I got Tailgate and Road Trap and Battle Slash.
Those figures haven't even been announced yet. You can't have them in your hand.
Well, they were on the pegs, and when I went to the counter, they did not ring up. But luckily, I had a very nice associate put them in manually for me, so I could.
So
take them
Tailgate
home.
also hasn't been announced yet. Wow!
No.
Oh wow, that's
Well,
awesome.
it's in the
No,
same wave, so.
No, because at one point Hasbro Australia was going to let this fan meetup that they were organizing let them have the first shot at those, like the first look and first reveal of those, and then at basically the last minute they had to pull those 3 toys because Hasbro US is like, no, we have different plans for the reveal of these, which I'm sure was Toy Fair. But then they came out in Singapore like 3 days later.
And you've had it now for what, 2 months? Not Tailgate, but Battletrap.
Been a good month.
Probably since December, yeah.
So when I opened mine, I kept thinking Chris has had this for months already. There's no point to even live anymore.
Yeah, it's like dating your friend's ex-girlfriend or something.
Yeah. Do you get anything else, Matt?
No, just those 2. I'm trying to keep the spending light because I got some big pre-orders coming.
So I'm going to mention a couple things here. First and foremost, we'll get to it in the news, but Rob Springer found something at Family Dollar, so I went hoping to find it. And instead, I found Transforming Robot.
Wow.
It's a $2 upscaled Legends class, or the really low end Legends figures from Dollar General of Optimus Prime. And
It's colored like a dome.
it's so this was $2, so I was going to hold off until the show to open it. So that's what I'm doing right now. Hopefully, there's no wire or anything holding it. No, there's nothing holding it into the bubble. Of course, that would cost money. That would cost money. So
Yes, that's based off of Cybertron Prime, I think, one of the very first Legends.
yeah, it's actually, oh yeah, it is. Okay, I thought it was based off the other one. No, it actually flips around. Wow.
That's actually kind of cool for $2.
Yeah, that's not bad. This is, actually, it's much nicer than I thought. Because I thought it was based on the other one until I opened it.
Too bad it's made of crayon.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing fits together tightly, but the plastic quality is actually pretty good. Yeah. I thought it was the other one. So, that's nice. And
Does it have the Prime face?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, wow.
Let's see if I can show that here.
I didn't think they were allowed to sell that sort of stuff at Family Dollar anymore.
No, that was just Big Lots.
Big Lots, yeah. So, I got that. I finally got Titan's Return Slugslinger.
Nice.
Triplet picked that up for me months ago, and I just finally hung out with him. I also got Road Trap and Battle Slash, and of course, now it's Battle Trap. But I think my favorite thing I got, it's my first and likely only Cyber Battalion figure. Triplet also got me Cyber Battalion Prowl. And I love it.
What is the matter with you?
I love it.
Why?
It's I don't know. It's just so simple. The transformation's elegant. The likeness is dead on. Yeah, I mean it's crap, but it's crap in the way that I love.
You like it because there's no diecast in it?
Yeah.
Not very heavy?
Yeah, it's very toyetic. There's no mistaking this for a collectible. So, yeah, I'm super happy with this. I wish it was, like, cheaper, considering what it is. But, yeah, it's very nice. And other than getting a $5 copy of Mighty Number 9 for Wii U, that's all I got.
How
this
many
week.
dollar?
$5.
I don't know that I've
Too
ever
much.
played that game yet. I backed it.
I did too. After they patched it, it was okay. Before they patched it, it was horrible.
At least it did ultimately become okay. That's something.
Yeah, it's okay. I wanted another one. I have it for the PC. I wanted it for the Wii U so I can have a couple more Wii U games. So, yeah, $5. Diecast, you get anything at all, period?
I got a Burger King cheeseburger. I'm filling in for Don this week. It doesn't transform into anything.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's a cheeseburger, not a double cheeseburger?
It's a cheeseburger.
Man,
but I got two of them, so I could cram them together.
The Burger King double cheeseburger is my favorite fast food sandwich. Love it.
Update on Legends Tailgate. The white plastic to white paint is a terrible, terrible match.
Oh, isn't it all?
Absolutely god awful.
Oh my. Oh jeez.
Occasionally you do get good white plastic to white paint matches, but like with yellows, it's something you shouldn't expect.
Yeah. One of these days I am going to go back and get the Reveal the Shield Jazz variant that has the molded white plastic arms instead of the painted. But I'm content with the original and the G2 Jazz for the moment.
One day I might pick up the Transformers United Jazz, which has the whiter white plastic overall.
Oh, that does sound good.
It's kind of expensive, last I checked. Since
Unsurprising.
it looks so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Rob, did you get anything?
I keep feeling like I got something this.
Said in the chat. So, let's jump to This Week in History. This Week in History 2015, Diecast abandons his wife on Valentine's Day to take off to New York and look at toys.
For the fourth year in a row.
No, that's the 2015 was the first year.
Yeah, and it happened to be on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, 2015 was the year it actually was specifically on Valentine's Day.
What did we get in 2015 at Toy Fair? That was a good one, if I remember
Minor
right.
Wars Wave 3.
Oh, yeah, okay. That was a good one.
That was also the year of Devastator.
Yes.
and all of the various controversies that surrounded that.
Oh yeah, at BotCon that year, we had to get a picture of me standing in front of the Devastator in the behind the glass, caused by balding head.
2015 was the year of the bald man stands in front of this thing we're not supposed to know about yet.
Yeah, wow.
Well, we haven't gotten any Predaking photos yet, so that's good.
No. Yeah, so we'll probably get that as soon as the show's over.
Tomorrow.
As soon as the show's
Yeah,
over.
probably. Because
Yeah,
we
as
did
soon
get a
as the show's
silhouette and a
over.
pre-order today, so
Oh yeah, is pre-order went up?
in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
No pictures though.
I can't
No.
believe we got that already.
I don't know how authorized it is because they were literally using a photo from the slideshow at HasCon with the Predaking silhouette. So, it's a little slapdash.
When did they put the release date for? Summer?
August or September.
August, September.
Yeah.
Okay. That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
hard-
about right.
Yeah. It's hard to say when that's how that's actually going to work out, though, because they still have the release dates for the stuff that started showing up at Walmart as April to May. So, who knows?
I mean, this is not a retailer I've heard of before, so it's reasonable to think that maybe they're not getting, first shipments of stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, if this is not a sanctioned pre-order, they're probably getting it through a secondary distributor instead of direct fulfillment from Hasbro too. So that would slow things down more.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump to the news. Big item this week. Evergreen and Bumblebee movie lines to debut in the fall as part of a coordinated brand refresh. Now, Rob, you talked about the Evergreen line in the Rob Clay Toy Detective that posted last week, which was awesome. I love that. And you also posted this news item. Can you tell us more of what happened?
Sure. But yeah, last week in the Toy Detective thing and a thing on TFormers, I just kind of all the pieces just finally fell together in my head, and yeah, I think Evergreen is going to take the place of Generations, and basically Generations, this new version of Generations will become the main line, and it turns out that on Hasbro's full year financial call, the CEO was talking about the Bumblebee movie is the focal point of an entire blueprint activation that will take place around Christmas this time of year. And the way that sounds is, since that's about the time that Cyberverse is supposed to start as a series too, I kind of think that we're just kind of going to get this, like, just basically a full brand refresh this fall. Just kind of, I want to say just kind of like a clean break from the Michael Bay era is the way I want to put that. New movie, new director, new cartoon show, new branding for the entire line, and back to where there are basically movie toys and Transformers toys.
So one thing to point out, though, this Evergreen thing isn't necessarily Authentics. It seems like that's going to be separate because this is actually going to be Generations.
Okay, yeah. Now here's a couple of important things, and I think if I didn't mention them in the Toy Detective thing, I did mention them in the TFormers article I did about this too, which is that technically, it may have been in this article as well. Technically, Authentics is supposed to be part of Generations, but also the usual leaker did put up package art for what appears to be Evergreen styling versions of Deluxe and Voyager packaging. So we're probably going to get both Generations and Authentic versions of the same designs, is my guess.
So in the chat, Rodimus Supreme is saying that he doesn't think that it's going to be this cheaper thing. The cheaper thing is part of, but not the full extent of the line. It's going to be the price point and the complexity that we have today. It's just going to have a different packaging aesthetic.
I don't understand why they have to change the name from Generations. I think
They don't
works well.
They don't call it Generations now. It's Transformers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing. I mean,
Generations is an internal distinction for their development, and we just also use it because it's what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, it's been classics. It's been Reveal the Shield. It's been Generations. It's been Combiner Wars, Titans Return, Power of the Primes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
It
just...
actually does have generations on the packaging.
Well, that's...
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. But that's...
It's. I thought they still used that as a
It's...
marker.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
a
can see
marker.
that it's been really de-emphasized.
yeah, and I I'm pretty sure I said this sometime last year that I got the feeling that they're just pushing towards a single line just called Transformers, and if I'm right about how this is working, that sure everything we're seeing sure does point towards that.
It's also worth pointing out, there's been comments about how the use of the term evergreen for this is not correct. Evergreen is just the styling of the characters that are in these various lines, but right now it just kind of has to be our placeholder because we don't really have a good overarching title to put on this whole initiative.
Do you think evergreen means that it's just...
we understand that's not really accurate.
Do you think evergreen means that it's just not like a gimmick? Like Combiner Wars, Reveal the Shield. It's just...
God, I hope.
Yeah, it's just a standard Transformer that happens to have an evergreen classic style design.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love my combiners, and I would love to keep getting combiners, but not everything needs to combine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be a headmaster.
Yeah, I mean, it feels to me like something like this is kind of like what the last team was trying to do with aligned continuity, which the fandom also completely misinterpreted the intent of, in my opinion. Where it's just these are basic character designs. They're not really connected to anything else specifically. They're their own thing, and we're just kind of going to go with this styling in our various product lines for the planned for future. Now, whether that ends up taking the form of a combiner or a headmaster or an Orange Julius machine, I don't know. It's all going to adhere to the same kind of styling. That's the evergreen part of Evergreen that we talk about. It's just the character design concept that they're working with right now that's going to be reflected across various iterations of the brand.
So do you think that...
We know that's not the actual name of what it's going to be, but we just need a convenient title for the shorthand.
So do you think that Power of the Primes, at least with the designs that we have now, like Optimus Prime and Rodimus Prime, are very conventional takes on those characters? And they're basically... their only gimmick is the Prime Master, which is, minimal. So they could almost be transitional in a way, in my mind, because we were talking in pre-show, we were talking about that that Generations Megatron that was very much not a conventional Megatron. It was an okay toy, but Optimus Prime and Rodimus Prime, they look basically like their G1 counterparts realized in 2018, which is exactly what they are.
G1 with knees.
With knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, and of course, G1 with knees isn't quite what the Evergreen Optimus Prime looks like. So I don't see that there's any reason that they couldn't sell these figures in Evergreen packaging if they decide to. But I have a feeling that when we get a Prime and a Rodimus for this, because I do remember seeing either Rodimus or Hot Rod in the My Busy Book thing when I saw it. I have a feeling they're going to be much closer to the designs we're seeing rather than just this being like a way to repackage anything that looks basically similar.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm just mostly talking about how it could be transitional anyway. Not that it has to be. It's just a thought.
I think there's still going to be distinctions. There's still going to be different lines. I mean, I really don't see how they can bring that all together and kind of lump everything under one thing. It just
not
in
everything.
My head,
there would still be distinct movie line and non-movie line. Non-movie line is the stuff that's just in the basic white and red Transformers packaging, which we're still calling Generations because distinctions, and it is the successor to what Generations is. It also includes the authentic stuff, which is the successor to Cyber Battalion and the other the little Legion size stuff Dollar General and Family Dollar have, because the authentic stuff is showing up in Dollar General and Family Dollar. That's the market it's designed for. But there will still be, movie line when there's a movie to have a toy line to support. We got the Studio Series stuff coming up, which is also going to be kind of a little bit of a gap filler probably, and it's also kind of bring that Generations idea into the movies. Here's a legacy line of a sampler of all the stuff that's come before this, redone, new toys, and probably restyled a little bit.
How much, if any, of this do we expect to see at Toy Fair?
Studio Series for sure.
Yeah, Studio Series. I'm torn on whether we're going to see Bumblebee movie stuff or not, because
we should.
It's going to start showing up in stores. You have to figure around September or October.
Oh, I don't think so.
I want a John Cena figure.
Well, the movie comes out in December.
But remember, the movie was originally planned to come out in the summer, like a normal Transformers movie. They changed the release date, after a lot of pre-production stuff was already being done. The release date didn't change until I think they were wrapping up filming of the movie. And by that point, the toys would have already been in the pipeline. Like, they would have been along their design style or their design process enough where they're probably locked in for a summer 2018 release, regardless of what the movie itself actually does. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
I think that might be better for the movie toys, a better timeline for it, because of what happened with the last toy line where you got
G.I.
Wave 1 and 2.
G.I. Joe Retaliation toys did?
Yeah, you got Wave 1 toys when the movie came out, and then nothing else. I mean, at least this could get a couple waves, and then retailers are like, well, the movie's in, we need those other, the movie's in theaters now, we need those other waves, those later waves to put on shelves to have product for when the movie actually hits.
How often do retailers want movie toys these days?
Yeah, that's what I've been wondering about, and why I've been thinking we might not see the Bumblebee movie stuff till towards the end of the year, because, I mean, I felt like the Studio Series is what is going into where the Bumblebee movie toys would have gone for a June release, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. That's just my gut, my impression. I am basing that on nothing.
My theory on this, well, I have nothing to substantiate this, but my theory just on how the whole thing feels, the Bumblebee movie branding itself, assuming that exists as its own distinct thing, is going to be really small, because there's not supposed to be a big robot cast in the movie to start with. That's going to be a small thing, maybe one or two waves, and Studio Series is what's going to fill in those shelf spaces in the stores before and after that, to keep that movie presence in this year.
That's
having the Studio Series stuff be developed in the first place, I can only interpret that as a move that we want to have movie stuff be on the shelves as much of the time as possible, so it becomes a normal thing that you see, and not basically just a seasonal feature for Transformers. If it becomes more normalized, they probably think that's going to make it easier to get more characters out into circulation that maybe haven't got a chance before, like Stinger, who's actually finally getting an original body toy for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, I'll buy Stinger because it's got a new, an unused before in Transformers vehicle mode with that Pagani Huayra. But I think they also think that, like, the sales of the movie stuff will probably stabilize out if it's available full time, instead of being something that the stores have to start allocating space for irregularly. So I think the Bumblebee movie line itself probably will exist in a limited capacity, but everything else is going to be Studio Series. They're going to be kind of dovetailed together.
Makes sense.
That makes sense, because, and that also would give them, if you're right, and that's something they want to, if they want to keep movie toys in stores regularly, that would explain why they kind of want to condense the main line and Generations down into a single thing, because otherwise, with Studio Series, with Generations, with the main line. If the Bumblebee movie stuff is a separate line from all of that, I mean, you could conceivably have Studio, RID, Power of the Primes, and Bumblebee movie all on the shelves at once, and that just sounds kind of like a disaster.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
little
shelf
bit.
space to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
the retailers will make more shelf space if necessary.
No, they
If it
don't.
sells.
No,
They don't
because
have
they're-
confidence anymore.
Yeah.
And there's so much different product to sell.
Yeah.
And also, like, this could not have factored into their decision in the first place, but with Toys R Us weakening in their position in the marketplace, even if they weren't planning on this before, it's something they would have to be seriously looking at now to condense down to strengthen that for the retailers that can't give them as much shelf space.
There are two ways that there's two ways something gets shelf space. One, it sells. Two, the vendor pays the retailer to have multiple facings. So if Hasbro pays them to do that, great. If it sells, great. I know that my Walmart has less space dedicated to Transformers than ever in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't have high hopes.
And it has three different lines spread across it.
Back when we had like Universe and everything else, like Transformers had like a third of the aisle.
Well, remember, there was the one point at Walmart where they had literally half an aisle.
Yeah.
Like a whole feature aisle, half a feature aisle to themselves.
Yeah.
That was insane, and we can see from how all that stuff stayed there perpetually why that's never happened again.
It might as well be Beyblade now, honestly. I mean, seriously.
Oh, that's sad.
So, moving ahead, so Diecast actually shared something with me in email about the same thing. This is Super-deformed Transformers figures coming from Whatnot Toys. They're also doing My Little Pony and G.I. Joe. I'm actually more interested in the G.I. Joe than
Wait
this.
a minute. Wait. Somebody's making G.I. Joe toys?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yep.
Uh,
I'll send you the email after the show.
Yeah, but it's Super-deformed movie figures, and actually they're kind of cute. I gotta admit. I figured Megatron Super-deformed would look like the little troll thing from was it Cat's Eye or whatever that Stephen King movie is.
Yeah.
The thing that gets killed in the fan. I figured it looked something like that, but no, it looks nice. So I'm not buying it, but it's cute.
I find the eyes slightly disturbing, but that's not the fault of the toy design. That's the fault of the design.
I think it's the door. Actually, I like the eyes. I think that's the best feature, honestly.
Okay.
That's me. But again, I'm not buying them. But they're sort of cute. Studio Series coming soon. Price tags found at a Meijer store for Leader, Deluxe, and Voyager figures.
Yeah, since this was Walkie that found this at his local Meijer, I was entertaining the idea that these might just start showing up, like Power of the Primes Wave 2 would start showing up, but I believe I heard somewhere since that there's a street date for this line of April the 20th.
So in the chat,
Wow.
JT Prime 17 said that his Meijer, according to the manager, should have them next week. So
okay, so maybe
Well,
not.
just because
They have
they
them.
have the inventory come in doesn't mean they're allowed to put it out and sell it.
Totally true.
That doesn't
True.
make sense why they would put tags out for it this early, though. That's
Because
literally
there's nothing
2
in their
months
system.
away.
There's nothing in their system to say don't put tags out for this.
Well, no,
Yeah, if
a
someone-
lot of
if
places
someone
have
forgot-
planograms where they're dated when you're supposed
Yeah,
to
and
put
if
them
they're
out.
doing a whole department reset like that, that's one thing. But stuff does have to get updated in between major changes, and this is just one example of that.
Yeah.
All I know is I work
Plus,
for
if their
retailer.
if their system knows to expect the stuff, in a week or two, it's probably coming across their thing. Here's tags to print out for the shelves. There's no guidance on that those tags are not for, or are for stuff that's not to be put out until April. It's just here's the new tags for the stuff that you're going to be receiving in X amount of time, and somebody's going out and planting them where they need to go.
Yeah, I mean it could be a simple mistake that they did not received the information about the embargo, or it was not put in the system, or the information I heard about the embargo could be wrong. Either one could be true, and we'll find out in about a week.
So we saw with Transformers the last night, Target had out the tag for the Voyagers in at least one location well in advance of the toys actually releasing. So, I mean, this does just happen sometimes. As far as I know, we only have the couple of instances of Meijer having indications out of the Studio Series stuff right now. But, like, just because they have that stuff doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a sooner release. The April 20th thing, I think, came from the Toys R Us inventory computer leaks.
So,
yeah.
to Diecast's point, there's a process in place for this, but errors happen all the time. And
Right.
because other retailers aren't doing the same thing, makes me think that it probably is an error.
Yeah.
2 months is just a very long. Like it's either an error or they're coming sooner than we think because
It's one of those two things,
that's a
yes.
big error. That
Yeah.
would be a big error.
I mean, okay, here's been my thinking on this, which is that, you know, the pre-orders that went up for the Power of the Primes Wave 2, the stuff we've been seeing show up this week, has said April to May. I'm pretty sure, like Chris said, the Toys R Us computer and a couple other sources now have said April, late April for the Studio Series, which again is, I'd heard that before, and that's why my thinking lately has been that was slotted into where Bumblebee movie toys would have gone, because that's about 2 months before the movie would premiere, which is relatively standard for this. So, I mean, that could be incorrect, but that's just the information that I've heard so far, and probably we'll find out. Well, probably you'll find out on Saturday.
Yeah.
I hope.
So,
I mean, the most likely possibility I see for this happening is the store has movie pegs. You know, they're getting rid of the last night stuff. Those movie pegs are being reassigned to the next round of movie product. You know, it's just an update that's happening because somebody said the update for the shelf layout has to happen now, but the embargo is in the left hand, basically. Like, you know, it's two disconnected processes.
item data is hard. So,
Yeah.
Transformer Studio Series Deluxe Wave 1 Bumblebee. We have in-hand photos. Facebook group TFND posted in-package images of the toy. And, hey, that's what that packaging looks like. It looks like basically everything else now.
And well,
that is
that's movie packaging is what
Yeah.
we should be calling that, because Generations
Yes,
or Power of
Generations
the
branded movie
Primes
packaging.
has not moved to that yet.
Yeah, not yet. But, like, every other has, like, I've seen so many of these boxes, and, like, the Star Wars stuff, my Walmart has them clearanced out for $5 each now, and I was really tempted to get a Kylo Ren. But
I kind of want to get some more of the 3 3/4 inch stuff if I can find it before it all goes.
But yeah, so I like the packaging. It is much more. Yeah, it's got the movie logo on it, but it is much more in line with just the general trade dress for Generations.
Well, I mean, scroll up a little bit. I don't know how much you can see on your actual screen versus the screen capture, but it's got the Generations logo.
Right there, yeah.
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 Generation Studio Series, and more to the point, this is our first photo of the new 76 Camaro Bumblebee mold. So
Yeah, and it looks like it has shared engineering from that Wave 3 Bumblebee, which I'm not happy about.
I would not be at all surprised because that would be an easy way for them to get more mileage out of that if they pre-tool in some 70s Camaro parts on
And
that.
I like that it has a backdrop and a base for it to stand on. I think that's neat.
I also just really like the color balance and the layout of the back panel of the box.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's actually
it's sharp.
really sharp looking.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really happy that versus the Premier Edition toys, they've actually figured out like better use of the internal space of the box for presentation on the shelf.
Yes.
Unlike some of those early ones where half of the empty top was all you would see on the shelves.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and share this photo first. In Georgia, let's see, Rob's outside of Atlanta. He found Transformers Authentics, the 4.5-inch figures at Family Dollar. And here's a picture of Rob holding Megatron. So I went to my Family Dollar looking for these, no luck. But yeah, I'm super happy for Rob, and I'm jealous because I love this stuff. I'm a big fan of this stuff.
I will not
totally
buy
pick up that
any of
package.
these.
More for me.
Yeah. You won't be rushing to the shelves to beat me to them, that's for sure.
I mean, they're like $5 or $6. I think that's perfectly fair for what those are.
Yeah, but just because they're $5 or $6 doesn't mean I want to buy them.
I do.
That's a pretty good looking Megatron for $5.
It sure is.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not
That
too.
Bumblebee is a damn shame, but the Megatron looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise on the Prime. I do still kind of want that $10 Grimlock when that turns up somewhere, though.
With some paint, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm with Diecast on this. These just aren't doing anything for me. I think I can pass.
Think of
on
what
them.
you're saying.
I know I feel dirty, but
So in Singapore, we have in-hand photos of Wave 2 Deluxes, Moonracer, Blackwing, Sludge Snarl, and Ripper Snapper, and I cannot wait to get Ripper Snapper.
yes,
Yeah, that's going to make me so happy.
I
want
do
Blot.
love Ripper Snapper.
I want Blot more, of course, but Ripper Snapper is my second favorite.
I love how this is the only wave that has not shown up in the US yet, and it's the one wave you need to complete the combiner from Wave 1.
Also, I love how Singapore has the Deluxes and the US has everything else.
Yes.
and I am
Well,
excited for every deluxe in that case.
Yeah, me too.
I want
Yeah,
all
I'm-
5 of
I'm
those. Really
Not
bad.
excited by Moonracer's colossal backpack.
Eh.
I'm not at all surprised by Moonracer's colossal backpack. I'll put it that way.
So to your point, though, Prime Masters, Legends, Voyagers, and the leader, Rodimus Unicronus, have shown up. I found Rodimus and skipped it. I found it again today at another Walmart. I will get it. It's just not a priority for me right now.
So the Wave 2 Prime Masters, was it Alpha Trion and not Nautilator, Submarauder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Landmine Submarauder.
So they have right, Alchemist Prime is the Prime Master.
Yes.
So those are assembled with body screws instead of rivets.
Oh, good.
Unfortunately, JT Prime in the chat was able to confirm that the reshipped ones from the first wave are still riveted, so you still cannot make a perfect Metal Hawk
Aw.
between that and the box set
Boo.
Titan Master.
Tragic.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Tragedy. So, speaking of more Prime Master Voyagers, we have Hun-Gurrr in hand photos. Cannot wait. Cannot
Yes.
wait. Cannot wait.
I really like the way the beast mode came out on that one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, for what it is, basically the exact same engineering from Silverbolt, I think it works really well. I mean, I know people complained about the tiny little front beast legs, but if you remember the G1 toy, it had great big fat beast legs that just kind of hung off the back of the figure.
Yeah.
So
Wow, look how
trade
off those stickers are. Like,
Well, they're
from
stickers
one side
on
to
Power
the
of the
other. Oh,
Primes.
they're horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's par for
this
the
is going to
course.
keep happening.
Funny enough, so for our Toy Fair live stream, our buddy Dusty, who works for Toy Hacks, will be here. So we'll get some of his thoughts on the Power of the Prime stickers.
Some
I'm
expert
just-
opinions
yeah.
on toy stickers.
I'm just excited for Terracons.
Yeah, me too. Dear God.
So they would have really, really had to screw them up to.
We have to get Piranacons now. That's pretty much the only thing we're missing, right?
Seacons.
Yeah,
Seacons.
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 Yeah.
Instructor.
Piranacon.
So going back up in the chat
Raiden.
just a little bit, I just saw this. Blade Raider says Diecast has no money for $6 Transformers. He needs it for third-party Springers.
That's
That's
true.
true. He has
Yeah, I
two
mean, skipping
Phoenix.
that wave is going to buy you the whole leg on one of those springers.
Yeah. this is the guy that has two of the Fans Toys Phoenixes.
Yes.
So
It's an awesome figure.
And
It's
currently 4 third-party Springers.
just 4?
Just 4.
I
Well,
think
that's all that's
out
Those
out
are the
right
only
now.
ones that are out so far.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 are still on the way, I imagine.
Yes.
So Hun-Gurr's not really doing it for me, but I'm surprised by how much I've grown to be interested in Elita-1 now that I've actually seen pictures of how the toy looks. And the stickers on it, while still is like all-encompassing as Starscream's, don't look nearly as bad incorporated into the toy.
It looks a lot better than I thought it would, and
Yeah.
a lot better than Starscream.
It does
Yeah.
look better than Starscream. I still want Hun-Gurrr more.
I still
If
don't
you-
like the vehicle mode.
Brian, if you go to the second link for this in the show notes, there's other better pictures.
Okay.
It also shows an alternate transformation with the wings down. Shout out to Rob Powers. Although I think Rob Powers was the wings up one.
Bobby
And making
Brothers.
references to things that only Kilby and I know. John probably remembers too, actually. But yeah, so the
Oh, yeah, these are
alternate
better.
configuration with the wings down, I actually think that looks really good that way.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that turned out looking a lot nicer than I expected it to overall.
Here's the thing. I think it's a really sharp looking figure, but for whatever reason, I really want her as a deluxe and not as a Voyager. And I
I
just
can understand that.
just from the design of the toy, like probably Starscream should be a deluxe as well. I just don't like that toy. She is a very nice looking figure, but I'm just not 100% bought in. I don't know.
I like it.
I like it. I
pretty
don't
well.
love it.
That last photo just shows off a better contrast between the 2 reds than most of the photos I've seen.
Yeah.
That's very reasonable, that contrast.
Yeah, I mean, like, I actively want to get Elita-1, whereas Hun-Gurrr, I think I can just wait till it ships again in Wave 3.
I want it so bad I can taste it.
Did you
Yeah, I
read
really
the
don't.
I
was
read
about to
that
say,
article, Rob.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had to.
I groaned.
Thank you.
So yeah, okay. So that's Elita-1.
But if Elita-1 was a deluxe, she would look really off next to Leader Class Optimus Prime.
This is true, but
Yeah, a
I'm
little bit.
I'm not going to have him kissing, so I don't care. But she would have. I would put her with Orion Pax anyway.
That makes sense.
Well, not
No,
really.
it doesn't. That would be Ariel.
No.
Yeah,
that
that would
would
be
be
Ariel.
Ariel.
Yeah, but I would still put her with him. So let's see here. Hun-Gurrr, Elita-1. Planet X shows off prototype for video game inspired, not Insecticons. Well, we haven't had Insecticons in a while, so why not?
And we haven't had third-party, like, Fall of Cybertron
In a while.
design. Well, just the official kickback.
Yeah.
It's because Planet X is the only one really doing.
Yeah, even
Video game
Hasbro
style.
realized that this was a bad idea and stopped after 1.
No, I appreciate Planet X, like, deciding on one theme to pursue that nobody else is doing and just sticking with that.
Did we get
like,
it?
we need that stuff.
Did we get a video game kickback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in that like last Fall of Cybertron wave before Ruination.
Holy crap! Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
Probably.
So the assortment was.
Do you want one?
The assortment was Sideswipe, Air Raid, Kickback, and reships of Shockwave and Optimus Prime from the previous wave.
Was he called Kickback, or did he have another
you can
name?
Remember that?
No, he was Kickback.
I think he was Kickback, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was the one that got to change, that got to keep his name for Fall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
It might have been Insecticon kickback, but yeah.
yeah, I seen that before. I just don't know that I have it. I need to. I don't. Maybe I don't. Holy crap!
Or maybe he does.
As I recall, it was extremely difficult to transform. At least
Not the
for me.
It never. I don't know. It never came out of the package.
Man, I may not have this.
I got it because
have
it
I
came,
don't like it very much, but
yeah. I got it because it came with the Gear Shredder, which was a really fun weapon to mess around with in multiplayer.
So
and
this,
that.
but this is Generations, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have.
So like the Fall Cybertron line went Optimus, Shockwave, Jazz. That was Wave 1 Deluxes. The next wave I think was Bruticus,
Sideswipe.
and then this was the wave after that.
Yeah.
I need to go check my
Sideswipe
shelves.
Ultra Magnus. I think.
Yeah.
I really like
Yeah,
that air
okay.
raid.
Actually, Sideswipe, Ultra Magnus, and Air Raid might have been the next assortment because there was an assortment that was Starscream and I think Kickback
Well, crap. I need to check my
Ah,
and
shelves.
okay.
something else.
I'll go do that later.
Okay,
So
well,
I can only concretely remember the first two assortments, but it was somewhere after
It was,
those first
you
two.
know,
I know that.
Almost 6 years ago now. So
Shut up.
I found a photo of Kickback, Starscream, Magnus, Sideswipe, and Air Raid together, so I'm assuming that
Maybe
was
they
the
all-
wave.
Maybe so.
I think there was only 2 waves.
Oh, maybe what I'm thinking of is Optimus and Shockwave reshipping with the Combaticons to fill space.
You know, I think they did.
Probably because I think they then reshipped again with the Wreckers
Okay.
because all those molds were sorted out to cost out together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something to correct. Got to do some digging. Okay. So they have that Thrilling 30s Orion Pax secret identity revealed. So I think this is cool.
Yeah.
So-
You do?
yeah, I do.
I don't. I
always
understand
wanted
why
that
this
figure
is
as
a
Cup.
story.
Yeah, so the Orion Pax figure, it was it in of itself. It was only retooled into what, Lio Convoy?
No, it was Leo Convoy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
So was Cup-
Fun Pup had a Leo Convoy head made for it.
but was Cup the head that was part of the tooling that we just didn't know about?
Evidently, yeah.
Yeah, so it was meant to be at some point a Cup, which makes perfect sense to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I always wanted
Yeah.
that figure to be released as a cup.
I see. Here's the thing. I don't understand why this article is coming out now. It's too little, too late. We have a much better Cup as a headmaster.
So basically, like, they're going through the leftover stuff they have from all of their, club stuff. They found these unused Leo Convoy or Galva Leo Convoy, whatever it was, custom class kits that are still like on the original sprues, and they have the little cup heads on there still.
Cuphead.
And I guess since it's their stuff, like Pete and company own that, they're going to use those as custom class stuff for Pete's next robot convention.
When is that?
this
Do we
year.
know?
Summer sometime?
Everybody-
I don't know specifically.
Probably.
Everybody who went had a fun time.
Yeah, they
It's
said it was
usually
they said it was like
one
an
day.
old style BotCon.
Yeah, that sounds
It's usually
awesome.
one day, and I've heard a lot of people say it's not worth traveling if it's only going to be a convention for a day.
Oh, I mean
that's for its
I
day
can
trip.
understand
That's
that.
probably true. Yeah, but I mean, like Brian says, everybody who's gone there has talked about how they had a good time at the show.
Right,
So I mean,
right.
if you're close enough to make that day trip, it sounds
Yeah.
like it's worth it.
I mean, so it's, again, if we've joked before about like a Radio Free CyberCon, and I've even toyed around with the idea, but if I did that, by God, it would be one day.
oh yeah,
Yeah, there's no way that, like, there's no need for multiple days if it's just like a get together. So, no, one day is fine. And considering where it would be located, I mean, that would be a day trip for me. So, yeah.
And for what I think the kind of audiences that this convention's trying to draw in, this cup is kind of a perfect thing because it's going to be a super limited thing. Presumably, there's never going to be another opportunity to get that cup head tooling on this mold. It's a good premium to advertise now, because now is the time that they're like developing what the convention is going to be for this year. It makes sense in that context. It would have been cool to maybe find out about that earlier from an objective standpoint, but I'm sure there were reasons that we didn't.
Yeah. So that's cool.
I just think we have much better Cup already. So
well, I mean, it's
I mean,
not about having a better cup.
We do. Yeah, this is about the rarity, the uniqueness of having this be available by any.
and I
method.
understand that, and I get that for some things, and for me personally, this just doesn't hit a mark anywhere at all for me.
Well, for me
Yeah,
personally, it
it's
never
just-
ends.
Yeah, I
It's-
like it. I like to see, what could have been.
Yeah, me too.
And to have a chance to own that then too,
Okay, so
it's just different mindsets in collecting. I mean,
Yeah.
So somebody wrote this in here, and I don't know what this is. It says Toys
That's
R
me.
Us diecast update. Diecast, what is this?
Okay, so we talked about the Toys R Us closings a little bit, but we never kind of went back to them. And I actually got an update for the one in my area that was supposed to close, which I said was the newer Toys R Us, and it was the bigger one, and usually had more stock than some of the other ones. It was on the list to close, but they worked with the landlord, I guess you could say, and they actually got the rent reduced, so now the store is not going to close.
That's sad.
And I know that's happened in more than one Toys R Us location, and I know of at least of another one that I saw someone post on Facebook saying, this they had signs on the door like this Toys R Us is not going to close. For the current listings, go to toysrus.com/something.
/Sam Trombone.
Yeah, so there are some Toys R Us's that were slated to close on that original list that since have changed since then.
I said that's sad, and it's not sad. It's a good thing, but the fact that they just dropped the rent a little bit, and that's what sealed the deal to keep them to stay open. You're not in that great a spot if
I'm pretty sure that just means that they've shifted the closing stores to different locations.
Oh,
the next most expensive one.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't shock me.
it wouldn't shock me.
But I think it's good, and the township was actually advertising it too, that they were all, I don't know how involved the township was, but the township actually posted that it wouldn't be closing, so I don't know if they were involved in that whole process as well, but
Yeah,
there is good news out there for some of the Toys R Us's that were on the original list. There's at least, like I said, at least 2 that I know of that were on that list that aren't going to close anymore.
So, do you know why Toys R Us is closing? TFRadio.net/Amazon. So, basically, you can go to TFRadio.net/Prime and sign up for Amazon Prime. You get, I think you get, a free trial. And you can get stuff shipped to your house. Depending where you're at, you can get it same day. I know people that have 2-hour delivery. Diecast probably has 2-hour delivery. It's amazing. TFRadio.net/Prime. And you can buy your toilet paper, your toothpaste, your shampoo, your combs, your socks. Everything you need to live. TFRadio.net/Amazon. Your orange shirts.
Your Power of the Primes Wave 2 Legends.
Actually, you can't get these orange shirts on Amazon. I've looked.
Oh, well, that's the one thing you can't get. So that'll help us out. It's how we keep the lights on. Seriously, it's not cheap. TFRadio.net/Amazon. We appreciate it. If you're going to use Amazon, which you are anyway, just bookmark our link. It helps keep the lights on. Okay, so Rob, what's on TFormers this week?
Okay, we've got 3 articles I've written this week. One is basically the text version of this week's Toy Detective. It's laying out the case such as it is for the Evergreen line to replace Generations as we know it, and basically that makes out the case that it is not a mistake or an accident that the leak only showed 3 waves of Power of the Primes plus 1 deluxe wave with only 1 new figure in it. That is intentional, and that all ties into what the suppositions we've been making in the show here today. Also, countdown to Toy Fair 2018, 5 things we might see at the show. Some of these more likely than others. I don't even remember what I put on this list. I forget how I divided it up. But there's one more coming on Friday, things we'd like to see, which is stuff that I do not expect to happen in a million years, but would love to see made in toys anyway. And lastly, the latest in my brands of Transformers line, the one I probably should have saved for the end because it is the most significant of all the non-Hasbro brand names for Transformers, that being Kenner.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. In the chat, Rodimus Supreme is asking, how can Toys R Us change their mind if the landlord changes their stance on what the rent is? Well, I mean, I'm certain the landlord contacted the district manager or whoever their normal contact is and say, hey, I'll drop the rent if you'll stay open. They contact their corporate office. They said, hey, they'll stay open. I mean, can we stay open if they'll drop the rent? And somebody says, they crunch some numbers and like, yep. So that's what happened. I'm certain. So sometimes,
bean counters.
yes, I mean, sometimes things are overly complicated and sometimes things are incredibly elegant. I'm certain that was just one of those simple little things. There was a back and forth and some negotiation, and which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And I'm sure there are a lot of landowners out there who are willing to negotiate on the price a little bit just to not have an empty store sitting that they're not making any money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not like necessarily Toys R Us consulted with those landlords before they decided to close down. They just looked at their listing of what the rent is and they decided to close. So
Yeah.
and maybe it could have just been, that may have been a way for them to, they may have expected some people to back down on the rent when those announcements were made.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. So Don, what's on the, oh wait, Don's not here. Chris, what's on the network this week?
I don't know. Go ahead.
So this week on the network, we have Rob Clay Toy Detective Episode 6, which we've referenced at least 6 times in the show already. Evergreen Toys. On this episode of Rob Clay Toy Detective, Rob talks about the mysterious Evergreen G1-inspired Transformers line and the future of generations. On Get the Skinny Episode 66, it's the Keto Diet with Jason Kirk. John and Brian are joined by Jason Kirk to talk about his experience with the Keto Diet. Is the diet all it's cracked up to be? Also, Brian talks about his new multivitamin of choice. John discusses the new CEO of Chipotle. And McDonald's is finally embracing the egg. All that and more on this week's Get the Skinny.
Start mispronouncing some words. This is the flow of this is weird.
How was your weekend, episode 30? The role of pets in your life. On this episode, Wendy and Brian talk about pets and the role they have in your life. Wow.
I really wish Dawn was here to read this.
Whether they're family members or substitute children or your abuser, pets play an increasingly important role in the lives of people throughout the world.
I just want to point out you read that wrong. How was your weekend, episode 030?
Yes. There goes my money, 036. Let our orders combine.
I love
It's
that
a full
title.
house this week, which makes sense because Power of the Primes Wave 2 pre-orders were just announced. Did everyone pre-order the whole wave, just some of the figures, or none at all? And where can you look to possibly pre-order them at not so inflated prices? Hint: it's Captured Prey, and we really like them, so check them out.
Yay, Orson.
Also, there's a third-party last
Orson's
night hot
awesome.
rod on. There's also a third-party last night hot rod on the horizon. And did you know not all third-party Dinobots are well made? You will once you listen to this episode of There Goes My Money. And finally, RPG Lessons Learned, episode 41, Playing RPGs with Kids, World of Dungeons. This week, Dusty, Brian, and Mike talk about a recent game Dusty played with his daughter. RPGing with your kids or young family members can be a lot of fun. Pick an appropriate game system based on their age and get to playing. For this game, Dusty used World of Dungeons. Whatever system you pick, or come up with yourself, share your love of RPGs with the kids in your life.
Awesome. Diecast, did you have any reviews this week?
I reviewed my heater that broke and is still broken.
Oh, that sucks.
Arg.
Probably be broken for a while because although it has a 10-year warranty, they don't cover any labor.
Hey, I
So-
Fun.
sent you a house if you want to just buy that and move here.
I love that house.
Me too, I want it.
But yeah, I can't
I'll
even
skip
afford
a
to
couple
fix
weeks
the
to
heater.
Taobao and buy the house.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
He could. Okay, so again, you can find this episode at tfradio.net/558 to view the show notes. Don't forget our voicemail line, 931-99-GOBOT, 931-994-6268. Please, please, please follow us on Twitter because Diecast will be tweeting like a madman this Saturday from Toy Fair New York. That's at TF Radio.
Yeah, you have to validate his existence.
I'm actually going to Toy Fair because I'm pretty sure they'll have heat.
Yes, that's true.
See if you can get some samples to bring back to your family.
We'll also be tweeting or posting to Instagram. That's at TF Podcast. And we're on Facebook at facebook.com/TF Radio. And we're on Tumblr at tfradio.tumblr.com, I think. We're actually posting to that, so it's amazing. And Rob Springer can be found at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. I'm personally on Twitter at bkilby and on the Instagrams at Brian Kilby. Chris is on Twitter at ChrisRTXV and on Flickr at flickr.com/ChrisRTXV. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me on, this weekend at TF Radio on Twitter. But I'm also on Twitter at Diecast2. On YouTube, watch some reviews, please. Please. My heater needs it. at RC Reviews on YouTube and at Facebook on Reviews by Diecast. Yeah,
cool.
That's it.
Matt is on Twitter at Melvar. That's 3 L's, 2 R's, MELLLVARR. Rob?
That can also be found at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.
This is true.
I am on Twitter at Flailthroughs and Figure Reviewers, also on YouTube at Flailthroughs, and as always, the video work we do for TFormers, Chris and I, can be found on YouTube at TFormers TV.
Cool. John is at that John D everywhere. Is that right, John?
Yep.
Cool.
Continue.
So we'll see you Saturday, 12 noon, tfradio.net/live. We'll be streaming all day. It's awesome. Follow us on Twitter at TF Radio. We'll see you then. Have a good one. So Antoine, hey Antoine, in the chat asking, how old are you, Diecast?
35.
I would have thought younger. Yeah. And so Rodimus Supreme, going back to that thing, is like, that really wasn't a news report. That was just something Diecast wanted to share. So that was just all conjecture on our parts. So we're just spitballing.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be most of the show is just conjecture on our parts. But it's good to know there's some Toys R Us that aren't going to have to close.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, Blaster Off will probably be the It's Out Now reveal. I hope so.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I have kept funds aside just in case for once.
I'm not worried about the It's Out Now release style, but I do want to see like the Hasbro Deco on Blast Off and see what Repugnus actually is.
Do you think
Since we have competing theories on that.
You thought the Deco would be different?
It might be, because the Takara one is very Takara.
Oh, okay, true.
I am almost positive Repugnus is just going to be another Twin Inferno Grotesque retool.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for.
Perfectly happy with that.
But since there are like competing lines of thought on this, it makes it more interesting to me to see who actually like pulled this out right.
Yeah,
speculation is fun.
Yeah. Somebody suggested Blot, but looking at it, I think you could actually do a half decent Repugnus off of Ripper Snapper too.
Yeah, that's the prevailing alternate theory.
So that'll be interesting, and that's I think I said this on Twitter. That's one of the other reasons I think that not only is Power of the Primes just going to end after Wave 3, but also that was a decision that was made rather abruptly, is the fact that we're getting a Megatronus in Wave 3, which is the Prime Master that Blastoff is also coming with in an alternate form.
Talus76 asked, does Taobao have heaters?
Oh, nice.
They might. But so yeah, I'm thinking that kind of indicates that they did not expect to have a problem getting all 12 Prime Masters out at one point, and they're going to have a problem getting all 12 Prime Masters out.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. They'll probably end up as exclusive or something. You know, $20 Walgreens box set with the last 4 Prime Masters in it.
JT Prime says he hopes the Hasbro Blastoff has the transformation of the Movor in the Baldiga set, the alternate, the shuttle cockpit on the back transformation.
I mean, hopefully it's the exact same thing, right?
I mean, well, the only difference for that is just the way the hands are assembled.
Oh,
So
okay.
the thumbs are on the right side.
Oh yeah, I don't have it. So,
You don't have that mold?
no
Oh.
He doesn't.
for the G2, or not. I mean the Voltigus. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if
You
have
really
the
should,
blast
Brian.
off-
It's super nice.
If you have the Unite Warriors Combaticons, like you can see there's a robot chest on the back.
I keep forgetting that I have Voltigus, but it's up there.
It's Bruticus you don't have, right?
I don't have the Takara Bruticus. No, I just have the
Yeah,
Hasbro.
you should buy that, Brian.
But I won't
really
I won't need it here like in hopefully a couple months.
The colors are better.
Well, we don't.
It
well,
makes a
we don't
big
know that for
difference.
sure on
I
blast
mean-
off yet.
I mean, on the entire team overall, it makes a giant difference, Brian. You
Does
should
it?
really buy
Yeah.
one.
Okay, how
Yes.
much is it on Amazon Japan now?
I actually do genuinely like the deco and physical changes they made to Vortex for the Takara version too.
Mhm.
Like the Hasbro Vortex colors were interesting in a way, but the Takara one's more like what I expect Vortex to look like.
Mm-hmm.
JT Prime was asking, what about the Walgreens wreck car we heard about?
At this point, I would just assume that's been canceled as
Yeah,
a
there were-
legacy listing.
Yeah, there were other things in those Walgreens computer listings that just never happened. So unless we get surprised by something later in the year, which
Which would be fun.
would be fun, and it wouldn't be the first time.
Ultra Draz says, I want a new Power Glide, but we got one in Combiner Wars, so I don't think we're going to get one.
Okay.
And that
Probably
one was
not.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I something
I'm
about the
more worried
Lexus-
about Warpath or Huffer or Pipes or Clipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, get us the rest of the mini bots updated that we haven't gotten yet.
Right.
Mhm.
I
We're
would-
so close. So
A
close.
good warpath would be nice too, because we could probably get a guzzle out of that without too much trouble.
And
They
yeah,
Re-
I need a
repaint-
guzzle.
Didn't they
my
repaint that
wrecker shelf.
Megatron tank as Warpath?
They
Yeah,
did
the Legends one.
at about the same time they repainted that IDW tailgate into Windcharger.
In Charger.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Warpath would be due for
I think
redo.
Warpath shipped in the same initial assortment as Groove.
No, I
Sounds
agree.
right.
Warpath needs a redo because that was a horrible repaint.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Warpath should have been Guzzle. That Warpath, the Combiner Wars one, should have been Guzzle.
Yeah. That would work.
that would be more acceptable than it being Warpath. Yes.
Yeah.
So in the chat,
Or
people,
they could just make a new guzzle. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
so in the chat, some people were saying it's weird without Dawn.
It is.
Well, here's the
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
there's a
weird
different
with Dawn
like pace.
too.
That's true. So I was thinking about it. Like in my mind, Don hasn't been on the show that long, but Don's been on the show for 6 years now.
Jesus.
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, his first
Dawn's been
appearance
here
was-
longer than me. Yeah.
His
Yeah.
first appearance on the show was April of 2012, whenever BotCon was.
And
From John's apartment.
who would have thought? Who would have thought somebody that I wrote into a fanfic having some sort of weird relations with Peter Cullen years ago would be one of my closest friends?
Does he remember that?
He doesn't know it.
One day.
I
you
mean,
will
by
find
that
out.
metric, I mean anybody who still chose to associate you after the late '90s could qualify for that distinction.
This is true. Let me see how I wrote him into that story.
Oh no! Welcome to Post Show, everybody.
So this is that stuff that where the listener last week said that we talk about really obscure things. This is one of those really obscure
Well,
things.
yeah, that's kind of why I caught myself on the wings up, wings down thing before. Because that's going back all the way to like 1997.
Oh no, that was that was Transmetal 1, yeah, 98 Transmetal
Yeah.
1 Eraser. 90
Aries says we need a new tracks, and I gotta agree, we haven't gotten a tracks in a
Since
while.
Reveal the Shield.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with Reveal the
What-
Shield tracks,
What,
but
2010?
I mean, that is
So-
a good tracks.
Okay,
That is
so
a good
I
track,
would
yeah.
accept a new mold tracks only on the condition that the redeco is loud pedal.
I would want Trax
okay.
as a
Yeah.
headmaster. Because everything needs to be a
Raul,
headmaster.
Raul would be the head.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Titans Return bothers me so much because all these figures that are not supposed to be headmasters, when there are characters who are supposed to be headmasters that didn't get toys.
Yeah,
What
I
the
kind
hell?
of actually prefer tracks to be a combiner component, just because then loud pedal would be too. And that'd be a great thing to put on Grand Galvatron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of that frightening transparent Starscream.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to being able to replace that with anything else. If you ever send me that wheeljack you have so I can sticker it up as almost exhaust, that's going to be taking Starscream's place.
And if I ever find that wheeljack, I will totally send it to you because it's still in a box from when I moved. I think it's in the basement.
Yeah, I don't know where all my stuff is from the move, and that was almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I haven't moved in 20 years, and I don't know where all my stuff is.
Okay.
I've never moved, and I don't know where all my stuff is. So
I can't imagine living in the one same place my entire life. That's just like an alien concept to me.
You know, I don't think I wrote Don into the story.
Oh,
I mean, I definitely
Write him in now.
I definitely wrote
Yeah,
Metal Hawk. I definitely wrote Metal Hawk guy into the story.
Maybe you were conflating Dawn and Metal Hawk guy.
I could have been.
Or
I
maybe
mean,
you wrote
you know-
on into a different story.
Way back when, before we even, knew those people in any real capacity, I probably confused them too.
And man, it